All right.
All right.
Hang on, Latoya, I am going to Snapchat you real quick. Can I do that?
You can definitely Snapchat me.
All right, hang on here.
Hello.
Hang on. So Shani and I are here with Latoya, who's got a video power couple thing going on. So we're excited. Here we go. Let's run. You know, I don't do that very often, so it's kind of fun. All right.
Cool. Welcome. And thank you, everybody who was here to listen to this passionate Power Couple Summit. I am your host, Latoya J.R. Borders, and I am super excited today to interview Mark and Shannon. Oh my God, I love this couple. I've known them, not known them, but I know of them, and I've met them 6 years ago. And I was so touched by their new launch of the Proverbs 31 Woman that I just had to have them on here for you guys. Can you just introduce yourself and tell everybody what it is that you do?
Shani, take it away.
I am Shannon Hoverson, the wife of Mark Hoverson. I'm basically, I'm his backbone.
Yeah, she runs a lot. She's, Shani does all sorts of invisible things, and then I'm a little on the face of it. But we're internet marketers with a family, home-centered business. And we do a lot of different projects and a lot of different things. And small town. We're from both. She's from a 350-person town in South Dakota. I'm from a 350-person town in North Dakota. We met. Our churches had an association, like youth group meeting, and we rallied a bunch of people from the Midwest to go to Mexico to like build houses and get rice and things like that.
Wow.
And so we met there in high school and became this kind of like legit platonic friends for years and years and years. For years. Like she'd spend the night at my house, and I'm not shitting it. We wouldn't touch. It was just weird. It was a genuine platonic thing. Well, I'm surprised that worked out. And all of a sudden,
You woke up is what happened.
Yeah.
You finally woke up.
I woke up and I was like, hey, I think it's time to get married. Shannon was right there all along.
So we went from friends to marriage?
Really fast. It's like in the snap.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
I was about 23 and I was like, you know what? It's almost like when the bird decides it's time to fly south, like it's inside them, that there's no choice. My is like, it's time to be a dad. It's time to be a husband. It's time to be real. Like it was 20
like that.
And then it was just like snap, and then it was like literally once I realized or felt that it was time to be married, then I just opened my eyes and there was Shannon the whole time.
Wow, like magic, she was already there.
That's right.
I love that. So I'm going to jump right into the first question. It is, what is paramount to staying connected in your relationship? Spirituality, mentally, physically, or emotionally?
I'm going to let you start and I'll piggyback.
Yeah, you piggyback. Well, I think, ask the question one more time so I can.
So like, what's most important? What is the most important area to staying connected to your wife or your husband?
Well, I mean, so a lot of married couples or to-be married couples are watching this, or, someone who wants to be married. I think part of it is really giving the deference and respect that we would give anybody at the grocery store or at work or a customer. Just keeping the like sensitivity of honor alive, because if you don't do that, the fact that she puts her towel on the floor next to her bed all of a sudden turns into a yelling, or it can just, weird things can happen when you don't keep this human level of respect towards your spouse. And sometimes it gets like inhuman, where it's like, gosh, you wouldn't ever treat a coworker like that, or you'd never treat your friend like that, ever. Like if you treated your friend the way you treat your spouse, you wouldn't have any friends. You know what I mean? And so I think keeping the deportment of friend in the mix, like she is my friend. Like Shannon is one of my best friends, and that's just the deal. Now we're also married, husband and wife, and raising kids, and so I think if you can keep that kind of zesty, and again, we I don't know how we've done it, or maybe we're just fortunate or something, but you gotta almost keep that high school pep rally, like we're cheering on the football team together, and coaches of the family and the future. But I don't know. I think you got to keep.
I think that was a really good point, because if you think about it, the things that maybe annoy us about each other being married, I think we were just friends and we weren't in the dating or marriage scene, I would just think it was cute or not fair. So sometimes,
it can be quirky.
Yeah.
If you have a heart that's light, or it's just devastatingly egocentric and greedy and poor character. Like if you have a feisty heart, it's cute and quirky, it would be transformed with a different kind of heart, and just like, oh, they're not thinking about anybody. Just like, and I've been that way. I've had the not so cute, quirky perspective, and so I don't know. We're coming up on
14 years in November.
13, 14. And we've learned a lot, but I think the more friendly you get, the better it all ends up.
I like what you said about being considerate, like it's a person at the grocery store, it's your friend, because for some reason when you do get married, all of a sudden that consideration that you used to show them kind of evaporates and goes somewhere else. You're like, what happened? You wouldn't talk to them that way. So I love that you say that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things. I mean, there's different phases in a marriage. You know, your honeymoon, that's fantastic or whatever. The first week we were married, first week we were married, I went down to sleep in the basement on my own bed and said, I'm not going to forget that.
Whoa.
That was week 1, right? And so the first year they say is the hardest, and when you're in it, you don't think it's that hard. But then you look back. At least I look back. Gosh, I was a monster. I was tough. I was young. I was really young. But you've back to keeping that friendship going. But then, so there's that, just getting to hang out and be married. That's its own step. But then kids come in. At that point, the woman. This is more this is a giant stereotype I'm working with. So there's always this, but it's like, the woman who's just adventurous and she's hungry for life and loves to travel, and she wants to be all these things, and all of a sudden she has a kid, and now she wants to move 2,000 miles back directly across the street from mom. And the husband's going, wait, I didn't know this. That wasn't me, though. No, it wasn't me, but I've seen it so many times. Yes. And the guy's like, wait a minute, but you're not. And then she starts talking to him like her mom talked to her husband, her dad, and then all of a sudden you're replicating this kind of thing both of you swore would never happen. And, if you don't catch it, it's like in Song of Solomon, it says, catch us the little foxes, because they spoil the vines, And so in the wine country, there's all the vines, and the little foxes ruin the whole thing. So it says, catch us the little foxes, because that'll ruin the wine. That'll ruin, and the wine in the Old Testament, that symbolized the crown of life. That was the abundance. That was prosperity of harvest and safety and time. And it meant a lot of things, that sentence. But it's the little foxes, the towel that's on the bathroom that you're upset about. Yeah.
I think it's good to keep in mind, too, him bringing up the point of, you're bringing into the marriage how you grew up. And so I think for couples to be married couples, keep that in mind when maybe you're annoyed or frustrated with the person you're with, and think back, bring their family into it, and the mom and the dad, and is that how they were, as far as giving a little extra space, room for okayness, I guess, or patience, because I think a lot of times we forget about that. We forget who their family was, where they came from, and we don't think about 18 to 25 years of upbringing under a certain way. You come into marriage, and you may not see that until you're married. You may not see that person.
So, and the connect. So you got one question where we can't stop. So you keep it going. But I think the connecting thing is, I've said, I like to say, rarely are couples on the same page. But they're in the same book. And as long as you're in the same book.
You said that. I just stole that line. I said, I know I didn't think of it myself.
Yeah, well, maybe I think I made it up. But anyway, couples don't have to be on the same book at the same letter in the same sentence at the same time. But it's the same book is fine.
Yes.
And so every couple's going to have differences in, Shannon, in part because of her upbringing, part of just who she is.
Mm-hmm.
She tends to be more fun with the kids, especially early on. She loves like fun with the kids, and kids identify with her as just fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little more authoritarian. I'm a little bit more like, I want these kids to be able to, I see it as like, I want them to get to 18, 19, 20 and really be a force in the world.
Mm.
This other thing is kind of prep, it's kind of training, and that was more my old path. But she would lean towards more fun. I would lean towards more authoritarian, authoritative, I guess. And then, but I might lean towards more like healthy foods in the fridge, and I'm not a TV guy. I'm not a video game guy. I'm a let's move, let's eat healthy, and she's more on sugar, and she's more on this, and then might be more on this one thing, and maybe one's more of a spender, one's more of a saver. So there's almost never like perfect unity on things.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to be pretty gracious with people, all people, but especially your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And then just connectivity, though. I think it's the growth, that there's a vision in front of us.
I think
for sure. That's the saving grace. We have a vision in front of us for our lives. We have a vision that's pretty aligned for the life we want to live, the life we want to give our children, the life we want our children to carry forward. And I think without that vision constantly, and I mean literally constantly, I'm not talking, when we got married, we wrote a little dream book, and then we visited on our 10th year anniversary. Go, isn't that cute? We have dreams. No, we have dreams that are as exciting and robust and dense as they've ever, and they're getting denser and more cultivated, more beautiful. But without those dreams, pretty soon it's about picking the kids up from school. Pretty soon it's about this like paying the life insurance and the health. Like pretty soon it gets pretty boring. So we keep our dreams out there. We keep our dreams for our kids. We have family meetings. We sing. Just the other night we have a big staircase. We're in a different house than when we met us. So we have a loft and this big railing staircase, this beautiful chandelier in the middle, and all the kids get around. The first time we ever did it, it was just to change the setting, but I had all the kids be in a different spot around. We had this big like gaping area in between us, and we shared one proverb verse of that day. So it was the 27th, and everyone picked one proverb from the 27th and shared why they chose that one.
Wow.
And it was just a new setting. It was a new environment. It's a memory. Kids will never forget it. And we just, it's almost like the audacity of believing that we're actually doing something that matters. That actually matters. That actually, we believe it matters.
I love that. You actually kind of answered like two questions already within that. But when you said like the vision and how it's like growing and becoming more dense, how important was creating that vision in the beginning of your marriage? Like, how important was that to you to have like that longevity and that happy, connective marriage?
I don't know, Mark, if we had that vision as much in the morning. I don't know if we were. So coming back to and you can chime in if on what I'm saying here.
Sure I will.
Yeah, no. So like going back to, you can be in the same, as long as you're in the same book, it's good. You may not be on the same page. So the beginning of our marriage, we had kids right away. So 9 months and 3 days after we got married, we had Isaac. And so just being on different levels. So Mark was in a, constant study, growth, business growth stage. And I'm having 4 kids under, in 4.5 years, I'm more in a brain dead stage. Changing diapers, feeding, sleeping, repeat. And I think as long as keeping the vision, I was going to say he had good patience with me. I know there was a lot of times he was frustrated with me and wished I was on the same page as him and growing at the same speed as him. So I think for, couples and future couples, just to keep in mind there's different seasons in your marriage, and to know that your wife or your husband may not stay in the season forever.
And that's huge. But there was some level, I think, I realized that it's almost like the field needs a rest every 7 years to replenish minerals and stuff. When a woman is just pumping out children, that is like it's invigorating and healthy, and then at the same time it's kind of like it's pulling like a lot of vital energy from that body. And, you know, for some women, it actually makes them healthier. For some, it was pulling. And that was a very aggressively harvested children from Shannon. For, you know, because part of the vision, though, is we wanted to be young grandparents.
Yeah, that's right.
That was actually part of the vision.
That was the vision. Right.
We wanted to be energetic parents. We wanted to be, you know, we go to resorts now or we vacation, and I'm not making it up. Every single couple is a baby boomer retired. And here we are at 35, 36. And, you know, the staff will be like, oh, did your parents give you their unit for the week? You know, we're so young. But that was part of the vision. I just personally, I wanted to have very active memory. I wanted to ski on mountains with my kids when they were teenagers. It's harder to do when you're 60. No offense, like no, it's just my personal desire. So parents that are listening, go, wait a minute, I have kids your age, and
I'm a young parent too.
But that was by design. It was by design. I also by design thought, you know, kids are broke. Kids aren't too sure the difference of being broke or having a bunch of money. And they're conscious. Maybe we'll have some money because we were qualified for welfare for the first 5 years. You know, Christmases where you'd go to the Goodwill or you
or
garage sales and just store presents. And, you know, the kids they don't know the difference.
They don't know yet.
Now they do though. Okay, now they're 12, 13 and such. But, you know, we're just talking, so
I love it. So I actually just listened to, I think it was 19 Erotic Steps. What was that called?
19 Secrets.
Yes. And I was like, okay, this is some next level stuff. So just pick one.
Like that?
I do. And I'm listening to it and I haven't given it to my husband. And I love that you say you do it first. So I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Because I know what happens with this course. It happens every time. Someone goes through the course and like, ooh, I got to get this to my husband. Ooh, I got to get this to my wife. Ooh, you know, and I'm just like, easy.
Hold on to it.
You do some transformation, and then they'll ask maybe.
Yeah.
But it's fun when couples come together and watch that together at a place where they're like, you know, we're both open to being more awesome. You know, but we're both game for it.
So what's one thing that you would like suggest for newly married couples out there to just try?
Yeah, well, with the eroticism, I mean, there's a lot of positions, there's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of things out there. But you know, I think one is just really finding what I learned, and again, I learn like most of the stuff I do. Some people are just naturally wonderful people, or they're just like nice, or I don't know how much natural I had of a lot of these things I've learned. So. But I think one of them is from the song Solomon was, you know, there's just a big stanza of how beautiful your cheeks are and your hair is like a flock of sheep and this and that. I think finding and complimenting non-sexual everything really gets you, because the number one secret to love, I mean, if we go like just to erotic a little bit, the number one secret of lovemaking is that your partner finds themselves sexy. That's it. If they look in the mirror and they go, yeah, I'm ready.
Smart man. You're very smart.
That's the one thing. If she needs it, I don't like that word a lot, but she deserves to feel sexy. And if she's feeling sexy, it's on. It's just that easy. So I think it's that whole thing where you really want to protect each other's individual vibes on feeling good about who they are, what they look like, and all that. And then you know, everything else just happens really
falls into place.
Really easy. He's feeling like, you know, I shared in the course early on, well, we didn't have any money, and that did affect a lot of my philosophy. You know, like if she got her hair done, I'd spaz out and say, you spent $60 on your hair. And you're sitting there drinking powdered milk. Like, you can't do that. I'll cut you that. which sounds so frightening, but I said it.
You did say it.
It's just your place. I mean, gosh, have mercy. But yeah, so isn't that something? But anyway, after all these kids kind of like, and left the makers and entered the world, Shannon now, I was just telling a couple of my friends, Shannon's, she's reading, she's pumped up, she's fired up, she helps immensely with the business. And I said, that's actually the Shannon I knew. The one I've had for like 5, 6, 7 years. I didn't know that one. That was kind of a surprise deal to me.
Okay.
Who that was going to be. You don't know who you don't know the husband. Like you know the husband, but you don't know who the father's going to be until you have kids, and you don't even know who you're going to be as a mother until you have kids. So I've had easy-going, footloose and fancy-free girlfriends that are wonderful, easy, light, easy breezy, funny. Everything's fun. And then they have kids, and they become severe, like worried, paranoid, protective. And I'm like, oh my, I never knew that person. That's a new person. I didn't know that. But what happens, those kids leave, and she's protecting that there's a sense where that's good, and there's a sense where it can go a little crazy. But he's protecting the cubs, and the cubs scamper off, and then all of a sudden the years pass, and friends with a lot of older people. And then all of a sudden that woman's back. She's at the Bon Jovi concert again. She's laughing at things, like everything's changed. So I think in a marriage, you got to see the seasons. Like there's seasons of people, if you're supporting and you're just starting the business, or he's just starting the business, or whatever, there's extra weight there. There's extra pressure. There's extra, it's a season. And so I think be able to weather each other's seasons, be able to chat about it with coffee. Like she went to Tony Robbins a couple of years ago.
2012?
Yeah, 2012. But she mentioned she wanted to go to Tony Robbins, and I was like, you know what? I want you to go, and I want you to go without me. So you're not looking at me kind of like, because I'm not necessarily, I'm not like a big, I'm not necessarily in that environment. But you are. Shannon is. She thrives in that stuff, and so I'm like, I'd prefer you to go without me, so you can full benefit, because I want her to go. And the younger me wanted to be like, oh, we're a couple, we should be one, and right over the top. And but when she came back, here's a case in point. So she comes back from that, or goes for 2 days, meets her girlfriends in Denver for a little 2-day girl fest, and comes back. Real easy to slide back into life really fast. Like when she was the kids were, your flight came back, and the kids were getting out of school, and it could have been like, hey, I'm picking up Shannon, we're picking up the kids, and go right back into it. But we had our assistant pick up our kids. We went to a cigar bar. We had a couple of drinks. We had a couple, whatever special drinks are in a cigar. And I'm just like, no, he doesn't. I'm just like, tell me everything. Tell me everything. Tell me the whole story. And so we had we have special moments still where, date or whatever, it was the middle of the afternoon. But so I think being able to chill, and we'll have breakfast, and this is huge for couples and enormous, is we have very vigilant boundaries on subjects and times, so it might be 9:30, and in the past, she might say something like, hey, remember our health insurance is due tomorrow, and we've got the tax bill on that rental property. And it was just acceptable, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right. And you're going to bed with like that kind of thing. Right now, it's just like an absolute. That'd be like a terrorist attack.
Looking back,
the things that we thought were they don't lead to peace and happiness. So now, if it's anything logistics about the kids, the house, this. Medical, real estate, taxes, IRS, business, live events, scheduling, blah, blah, blah. It's a Monday through Thursday between 10 and 2 p.m.
I love that.
And we're not sitting there at it's unthinkable. There's no context for it where we talk about anything like that outside of, once it hits 5 o'clock, that stuff's done. Saturday, Sundays. We don't even.
Love. How did you transition to that? Was it like, or did it take a while?
Eventually, you look around and you're like, wow, our lives really suck. We should not be the way it sucky life. I mean,
tie in another one that's really important. Okay, so at night that was a conversation, and then in the morning I would wake up, and the first thing I would say is, "Oh, if I had a headache or my back hurt." But this also ties back into what we were talking about earlier. So I grew up in that environment where it was just common to talk about your aches and pains. It was a natural thing.
And I'd never seen it in my life. I'd never.
So this is another aspect.
So
this is another aspect of recognizing. It took us a while, but I think you were the one that noticed it. Like, wait a minute, this is your family. This is what you grew up in. This is what you're. It was just natural for me. I don't even think I recognized.
So imagine you wake up and it's just like, oh, it's not even like good morning. It's like, oh, my knees a little out of whack. My throat's so dry.
And that's not even who I am.
My back's a little creaky. I mean, I've never seen it ever. Like, my parents never, ever mentioned anything wrong, nor did I or my family. So I'm waking up and she's like, I got like a 3-minute ceremony of talking about aches and pains. And looking at it now, it's like, again, that's something so funny.
Another coach says that's your family's culture or their marinade. Like, you marinated in that for like something 20 years and you kind of brought that sauce into your marriage. You got to rinse and try to
rinse it off.
Yeah, that's.
But it's a good. But that's what I'm saying. Is like some of the things maybe couples don't like or are frustrated with each other is take a step back. That was step back and wait a minute, this is what you grew up in. It's not just you being like a crazy person. And it's like, oh, you're right. Like I did grow up and then I remembered hearing that
all the time.
Recognize that, Yeah.
And there's just a lot of but I think self-awareness is really important. This is who you actually are.
Yes.
The formational things that happen to you are really key because another big we're going into our worst stuff today. It sounded
we're gonna get to some good
early on. Here's a case in point. My family had a very, very strong homespun spirituality. Like, I grew up and I really thought Christ was in our house. Like, I thought he was present in our house for real. For real. Not because like the preacher said he was, or
right.
We are supposed to, so our friends thought he was in the house. Like, I thought he was in the house. Okay. And it wasn't scary. It was like a wonderful thing that he was in the house. But the church world to us in terms of like performing for the church people or performing in any religious manner had a very low value. Like, it carried no weight. Like, we go to church because people need to see us at church, or the days were different, 20, 30 years ago. It's not like that today. But anyway, I grew up a little different. They were very committed to the church programs, to people seeing things, and just it was a little more institutionalized church and spiritual experience. Mine was more just it was as real, and don't kid yourself with who you are and what the deal's going on. A little more external. So when we come together, she thrives in that institutionalized setting with programs and things, but like home conversation around the dinner table, they just never saw it. I grew up with home conversation around the dinner table all the time. That's all I knew.
Right.
And so you can see where I'm sitting there going, like, this is just how it is. Like, why is it so tough to bring that here?
Right.
Like, and she, but whatever. The thing was just recognizing that that's not her being unspiritual or me being anti-church. It's just like part of an upbringing, and then figuring out some kind of landing point.
I love that. Like, you're negotiating. Yeah. Where's our middle ground? So, Shannon, question for you. Proverbs 31 woman, you're probably deep in it still right now. For me, I love that you guys came out with this, just because it just took me and my husband's marriage to the next level just by me acting. One of the exercises you guys had us do, one of the actions was to figure out 1 to 3 things that you could do for your kids and your husband that would improve the family. Lord, that was like an eye opener. I'm like, why didn't I think of this before? I don't know. But how is that working for you? I know like you were learning to do the shots for him and you had things going for the kids. How is that working?
You know what? It's going, I'm trying to think if there's any specific.
Well, we just released that course like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we just released it.
I'm all in it.
Yeah. That's really why I did say yes to this and why we're here is like, Tyler said, she's doing the Proverbs 31 course. And I'm like, okay. I really, that's a very, like, I know how transformational that has been for us.
Mm-hmm.
So that course is really just, we've had friends and a lot of people say, you got to export what's in this house. It's got to be exported to the world for people. And how much that poem changed our life. We just wanted to get that out there. But that phlebotomy thing is like every quarter. So it's kind of,
yeah, so the training for that's going to be coming up. And Mark had shared a story about me with Isaac. I think what this course has done mostly for me is now I'm thinking. Maybe, thinking more like situations arise with the kids. I'm thinking now, what can I do to optimize the situation or help or communicate? Let me think of something specific.
Well, I mean,
because we just did the course, so it's, yeah.
But, going through the action guide, I think it triggered you to solve and go deeper.
Problem solving, yes.
Problem solving and going deeper.
So we benefit and we're working through it just as much as anyone that buys it.
100%. Like, I'm going through that course.
I'm kind of just, I'm just.
Are you benefiting from it? Her going through the course?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I love it. And what I was telling our friends was, once Shannon got into that, there's a power in the word. I mean, it's just the ancient text. I don't, my personal belief, and I've seen it so much. It's not. I don't even put it in the belief category anymore. It just is. Mm-hmm. The word can light people. It feeds the spirit in a way nothing else can feed. Mm-hmm. And so, just seeing, just people, and this is what this is why this course is so powerful. Like I released Facebook last night. I did a Facebook marketing video course with one of my affiliates who spent $2,500 in the month. He's at about $25,000 in commission. Mm-hmm. We're teaching all the strategies, and people are fired up. People love it. We get feedback. People post on Instagram or whatever how great it is, and yada yada. There's just a whole different energy when we have somebody that says, "I'm going through the Proverbs 31 course." You can see it's like there's a burning in them, and there's like a life, like. Clarity, like their eyes are getting clearer and their sight's getting brighter.
Well, and I think what's the best about it too is both of us grew up, there's 31 Proverbs, so you read a Proverb a day. So I grew up reading Proverbs 31, longing to be this Proverbs 31 woman. Mm-hmm. But, you never really heard a teaching dissecting it the way Mark did and giving you application. How can I actually take action and do this? And so this is the first time even in my life, along with everybody else who's going through it, where I've had an action guide to guide me through how to become, and work towards being this Proverbs 31 woman. So I'm working through it as well, but it's the application, being able to give you ideas of how to put this to real life.
So it lit her up on fire, and it's been
ooh.
So I just got a text this morning from another lady that's going through it, a great entrepreneur, and she's so grateful for the course. And so it's for me, like if I don't do that stuff, I feel edgy. I feel like Jeremiah talked about, like, your word is a fire in my bones. Like I have to release it. And so for me, it's like I'm punished psychologically if I don't release stuff that's in me. Like I self-punish because I don't feel good, because it's like I'm supposed to share this.
Yeah. You're sitting on a blessing. Yes.
So let's just share it. And and I thank you for your patience and belief in.
No, I just love it. Simple things that I never would have thought of, like hiring someone to help. At first, we were like, can't hire anybody. Then I was like, we can figure this out. And it has, it just I don't know, it relieved so much pressure. It felt like I had to do all these little things. And then when I found, I can delegate this to this person and I can have the kids do this, then I can focus on that. It just felt like like a rock was lifted off of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this course would have been great early on in our marriage.
Yeah, we could have used this one.
Great. Yeah, we could have used this.
We could have used our premarital counseling.
Yeah, I definitely could. Yes, it definitely needs to be like a course before you get married. I love it. Single people, yes, them too. My husband loves it as well, even though it's like for women, he loves it as well. The thing that he likes the most, I'm sorry, I keep talking about it. The thing that he likes the most
I love hearing it.
the entrepreneurial kid, he's like, that makes so much sense just because he automatically like does things for the kids. Like he's like, they can't do it. They're 4 and 2.
Right.
And I'm like, yes, they can. Just get the step ladder. They can do it. And he's like, babe, he's doing it himself. He can do it himself. If I just show him the steps, and he gets a rush out of just teaching him the steps and then watching him do it himself.
Well, there's nothing better. One of the highest things in being a father that's so gratifying is seeing your kid be able to do it. Whatever it is. If it's shine a shoe, if it's shuck an ear of corn, I think I maybe mentioned that.
Yes, you did.
or even like for us, like pour a perfect glass of ice water.
Mm-hmm.
Friends that come over and the kids are taught to bring our company water. And so we've trained them on how to do a perfect glass of ice water. So you don't grab here, you never touch the rims.
Mm-hmm.
You see fingers that show on the glass. There's half ice, then slowly poured water, so it's ice cold even throughout, and then you hand it to them. That's how you pour water, So, but if they can master water, they get an idea for how to master things. So I think what happens is a lot of us, because we want to imagine they can pour a perfect glass of water. What they can do perfectly. The more of those things they have in their life, the more confidence is instilled in them. They know how to recognize quality. And so that's been an important thing, to just have the kids really fall in love with what quality feels like and looks like, how it's extra quality. And so,
and then they're proud of themselves when they're done. They want to show the parents. Look at
incredible in what they do.
I love it. I feel like your marriage has poured over into your children, and because your marriage is great, you're creating great kids.
Right. We are, if we did a live stream 24/7, and every single person goes, wow. I think they go, wow, they've really chosen to make this thing work.
It's a choice. I like that. It is a choice. It's a decision.
Each other.
So I know you guys are going to give a free gift. Can you tell us about it?
Well, we have a podcast at minutewithmark.com.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't post a new episode for a long time, but sometimes I'll post a couple back to back, and people tend to like it. It's free, and it's there on iTunes or Android or whatever that is. So it's out there in the podcast world, Minute with Mark.
I love it. I actually just listened to one. You guys, I'm going to I'm going to put the link below for you guys to get it. I just listened to a podcast. I think it was a psychographical.
Yeah, psychographic.
Love that. I loved it. It was like you were in my brain. So definitely you want to get that free link. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
You're kind of coming back to me now. I'm kind of remembering you.
I am too. Now that you said Nicole Cooper.
That was a great party.
That was such
a fun
It was super great.
You guys were so on.